All right. So all you pretty people that are here, Stacy, Rita, Melinda, and Laura, if you're willing to, would you show your faces?
And Lindsay,
to see people.
Lindsay's here too.
Yeah, but she's already showing her face.
Oh.
That aren't shown.
Okay.
Welcome to all of you.
Yeah, welcome, welcome. And Michael gave his regards. He's working his second job, and his friend in Joplin that booked a class. Hi, Melinda, is not able to get on tonight either. And I think Sharon's going to be joining us possibly. So yeah, we're glad we've got Roxana on.
Awesome. All right, so we're going to get this party started. We're glad everybody's here. I'm going to share my screen. Vicki, I think, is getting situated in the other room. Ta-da. Everybody, can you see the screen? Thumbs up if you can.
We can.
Awesome. Somebody's got some sneezing going on. I'm not sure what's the best for sneezing, lemon, lavender, and peppermint.
And she does have those. Yes.
Nice, nice.
If you want to mute yourself, unless you want to speak, that way there's not any echoing or anything in the back. That's okay, Stacy. If you don't want to be visible, you are just fine. We still love you for being here. Yeah.
Absolutely. 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 Great. Okay. I don't even know most of the people on here tonight, which is kind of awesome. I don't know that I've ever met Rita. Stacy, I do know you, and welcome. It's good to see you back here. Laura, I'm not sure if we have ever met, but my name is Julie, and I live in Papillion, Nebraska, and I'm the baby of the family and the youngest of the three sisters. We affectionately call ourselves Sisters 3 because my big dream is that the three of us are going to be on stage at convention sometime. We'll see if that happens. I have belief. So I'm Julie in Papillion, Nebraska. Bobby, you are Bobby from
Missouri, Nevada. I came here to college, never went home. And
Vicki from Sioux Falls. Oh, I'm sorry, Bobby, I interrupted.
No, I didn't know if you were back on in your normal self after your song. So yeah, we are the three sisters, and we love to teach about essential oils. So we're talking about essential oils made easy. And it's made easy.
Yeah, and we are super glad that you are all here today. So if I can get this thing to work, the goal of our class is really empowerment. We're going to teach you 3 cool things about essential oils, 3 ways to use them. And then just like teaching somebody to ride a bike, we want them to have the bike. And so we're going to teach you how you can bring these beautiful gifts of the earth into your home. So I'm kind of discombobulated. Getting started with that mini concert was really awesome. And Vicki, I loved your song about oils. That was fantastic.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. It was my adaptation. I'm working on one about deep blue now, but I'm not going to reveal anything else about it.
Nice. Can't wait. All right. So there's 3 cool things about doTERRA essential oils. They are safe, they're effective, and affordable. And you guys can read the screen, but I just want you to know a few different things about each one of these points. The very first, they are safe. You can use them on all ages, from babies to kids to teens to adults to seniors and everything in between. They are from plants. They are the volatile aromatic compounds from plants. And that sounds so very technical, but the thing I want you to hone in on that is volatile means that they evaporate. And that's going to become something you want to cling to in a minute when we talk about the ways that we use our essential oils. Everything we're teaching you in our class tonight is about doTERRA. It's doTERRA specific because doTERRA is committed to purity. And so when they do, I shouldn't say if when, because they test every liter. They test it both in-house and they test it by a third party. And if there's any impurity in that bottle of essential oil, they will not sell it to us. They are so committed to that. And the reason for that is because the owners wanted safe oils to use on their own families. to use with your own children, and they couldn't find them in the marketplace. And so they set out to find safe oils for us. And so we are blessed to have them. So peppermint. Bobby, do you want to talk about peppermint? Vicki, Lindsay? Lindsay, you got a good story with peppermint. You want to share your story?
Sorry, I had to unmute myself. I have a couple stories about peppermint. I get migraines quite a bit. And so one time, well, when I first got the oils, Julie told me to try peppermint on for migraines. So I did, and within 20 minutes, my head wasn't hurting anymore, which is amazing because usually it's lights out, I'm done for the day, kind of headaches. So then I don't have, or I have my wisdom teeth still. And sometimes they act up a little bit. And probably 3 months ago, my wisdom teeth were acting up. And so I Googled it, and they said, try peppermint. And so I tried peppermint, put it on my gums and kind of swished it in my mouth, and my tooth pain went away. So those are my stories about peppermint.
Love them. Thank you, Lindsay.
Yeah.
So they're safe. And Lindsay talked about the 2 different ways that she used them. She put peppermint in her mouth, which means she ended up ingesting some of it. And then for your headache, did you do it over your forehead, or did you do the thumb pressed to the roof of your mouth?
I didn't know the thumb one at first, so I did it over my head and like the back of my neck. But then I tried the thumb one just last month, and it was immediate relief on my head. So yeah.
Nice. Fantastic. All right. So the second point about doTERRA essential oils is that they are effective. If we can think of if you make a fist with your hand and you think of that like it's a cell has an oily membrane, just like in this diagram that's on the screen. And that oily membrane protects the cell. It keeps bad things out, keeps good things in. But sometimes viruses are able to get through that, and they're replicating their RNA on the inside of the cell. So we go to the doctor. The doctor generally, for those threats that reside outside the cell, the doctor will tend to prescribe what's called an antibiotic. And probably everybody on the call today has been on an antibiotic. But when you do that, you also end up interrupting the good bacteria in your gut. And the gut supports 80% of our immune system. So now you've lost the bad bacteria and the good bacteria, and then that sets you up for more infections down the road. And usually when you're taking that antibiotic, usually 10 to 15 days, you feel a whole lot better, right? But then you have that additional side effect. With that virus on the inside, because that membrane is oily, most pharmaceuticals are water-based, and they're not able to penetrate through that cell wall to address that virus. So an essential oil, just by virtue of its name, is oily, right? And so it is able to penetrate that cell membrane and address that virus that's inside. So typically when we're under the weather, we go to the doctor and the doctor says, oh, you got a virus. What do they tell you to do? Go home, rest, drink lots of fluids, let it run its course, right? And so now when we
they have you wait.
They have you wait. I don't know that one. It's been a really long time since I've been to the doctor. So they have you wait first. What are they waiting for?
That's what you're doing. You just have to wait till it gets over.
Just wait it out. Yeah.
Like they go, sorry, we got nothing for you.
Yeah. And so when we have these beautiful oils in our home, we can be intentional and proactive. We're still being reactionary because we've already got the infection, but we have tools that can help us with that. So that's why doTERRA essential oils are so effective, and they're therapeutic. If you're buying oils from a big box store, even though the label might say pure, might even say 100% pure, I would not trust that without doing research for the brand that you're looking at. But we know, because of the testing that doTERRA does, that every single one of these oils is 100% pure, and that's pretty cool. So On Guard, Vic, do you want to talk about On Guard?
I would love to talk about On Guard. Am I still, I'm not muted, am I?
No, we
No, I
can
can
hear
hear
I
you.
was. Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'm drinking On Guard in a mug of hot water right now as I speak. On Guard is definitely on guard for immune support. It does soothe the sore throat, like it says. You'll find this particular blend in a lot of doTERRA's cleaning products, toothpaste, you know, to clean your home and your teeth, foaming hand wash, and a variety of other things. And as you can see, did you talk about ATI? Because I'm sorry, I was a little late to the. So you see next to the On Guard, I'm pointing to it like you can see what I'm pointing to. There's a little orange A and a blue-green T and a green I. That's for the 3 ways that you can wear oils, and you'll learn more about that later. But basically, it's it can be used aromatically. I'm smelling it. Topically, I could put it on myself, and internally, I can drink it. Not all of them can you do internally. Is that enough, Jules?
Yeah, that's perfect. So On Guard is a fantastic oil to use. It's one of our daily use oils, really. It's encouraged. Being consistent with our oils is where we're being proactive. We're staying well. So, and then the third thing, affordable. Most of our oils are pennies per drop. And when you're using your oils, you're going to learn, because these are so potent, 1 to 2 drops, 2 to 3 drops, that's usually a dose that you would use. And so oftentimes it's 12 cents, 30 cents, depending on which oil you're reaching for. We do have a few more expensive oils, and it's because of where these oils harvested, grown. doTERRA goes around the globe where these oils are grown indigenously. And that's because the profile, the chemical profile in the oil really is what gives that therapeutic benefit that we're looking for. So based on soil and air temperature and humidity and sunlight, all of those have an impact on the chemical makeup or profile of that essential oil. And that's kind of one of the things that determines the cost. But by and large, most of our oils are just pennies per drop. Go ahead.
Let me tell one story. So we've got a new gal on the team. She's not on, I don't think, the class right now, but she got her kit yesterday and put 4 or 5 drops of oregano and 4 or 5 drops of Melissa in her hand and rubbed it all over her. And she walked into the living room. She's not at home, and she was visiting with some people out of town in Lamar, and they all said, "Oh my gosh, you stink. What did you put on?" And I said, 1 drop is sufficient. You don't need 2. And next time, put oregano on your feet and Melissa on your neck. You know? So yeah, remember, pure and potent.
Pure and potent. Yep, for sure. So let's see. Lavender. Bobby, do you want to talk about lavender?
Lavender, great. It's called the Swiss Army knife. And I'm going to turn my volume down because my voice is so loud. And so lavender is great to relax at night. Mist it on your sheets. Put it on any pain areas. It's great to gargle with for a sore throat. It's a natural antihistamine. It's great mixed with peppermint and lemon for seasonal issues. And I just have to tell the story. I had 5 grandchildren in my house several years ago. Randy put his hand through a nail, and blood was going everywhere. And Avery says, "Grandma, we got to go to the hospital." And Randy grabbed lavender and clove, never went to the hospital, never went to the doctor, and there's no scar. So, and it really does. Julie tells the story about my toe. I weeded and I'm bawling, tears are flowing, and my toe is in pain. And I get the lavender and just, I poured it all over my toe at that point, but I know I didn't need to do that. A couple drops would have alleviated that. My toe never did swell. The pain went away. My tears went away. And so it's a great one to keep in your medicine cabinet.
It's a great one for your first aid kit. So actually,
And again, I believe it's less than 10 cents a drop.
Yep. All right. So the 3 cool things that you've learned tonight: doTERRA essential oils are safe, they're effective, and affordable. And then the three ways that we use essential oils, Vicki kind of touched on it. Lindsay shared some stories of how she used those oils, and Bobby did as well. So aromatically, that's breathing it. You open your bottle and you breathe it in. You can put them in the palm of your hand, breathe it in. You can diffuse to breathe that in. And that is a great way to support your lungs. It's a great way to support your respiratory system. Positively affecting mood is mentioned here. One of the beautiful things when you use a diffuser, everybody that comes into the space is getting that therapeutic benefit, sometimes even without knowing. So maybe you work in an office with crabby people, we'll diffuse your wild orange. Everybody's going to be happy. So aromatic. And then topically, that's for targeted support. That's for addressing those specific things that go on. You got too close to your fry pan. You would add lavender. Lavender is fantastic, like Bobby has mentioned, for reducing pain, for burns, for cuts, all sorts of things, but it's localized benefits. We do want you to know there's that little picture next to the tea. That's something called fractionated coconut oil. And many people, I did not know this, but many people know that fractionated coconut oil is generally solid at room temperature. Well, fractionated coconut oil has been spun so that it does something with the fat molecules in there so that it stays liquid at room temperature. So remember earlier on when I said an essential oil is the volatile aromatic compound? Well, that volatile means that it evaporates. Doesn't mean it's mad, it means it evaporates. So when you use a carrier oil, the molecules in the carrier oil are heavier than the molecules in that essential oil. And so it traps that oil on your skin. And so it covers a larger space. So it's a fantastic way to kind of make a time released salve that you're putting on your body. And salve isn't the right word because that's not the right foundation that it's in. But we also encourage carrier oil anytime you have a sensitivity to your essential oils, or should you happen to get essential oils in your eyes or on a sensitive part of your body. Most everybody has an experience when they're using oils where they've learned the need for fractionated coconut oil. Vicki has a grandson that got peppermint in his eye. Most of us have probably had a time where we've applied an oil and then gone to the restroom and discovered some interesting sensations. So fractionated coconut oil is just great to have on hand when you're getting familiar with your essential oils. And it doesn't dilute the efficacy or the effect of that essential oil. So your oil is still just as powerful and potent as it was all by itself. And then the third way we use them is internally. Put a couple drops in your water, drink it. Citrus oils are fantastic for that. We definitely encourage when you're consuming citrus oils from a glass, please use a glass or stainless steel. Don't even avoid, just don't use styrofoam plastics, because citrus oils are great detoxifiers. And so they will pull the petrochemicals out of that plastic and that styrofoam. And we're trying to detoxify our body, so we don't want to consume all those particles that would then be in our water. So that's just a tip on that. You can put under your tongue. Vicki does this, Bobby does this, probably. I don't know if Lindsay has started doing this. Melinda, I'm sure, does this. It's just 2 drops of frankincense under your tongue, 2 drops of copaiba under your tongue. We do that morning and night on the recommendation of Dr. David Hill. He's one of the owners of doTERRA, and he had been the chief medical officer for years there. But he recommends those 2 for cellular support. So now we're going to dive into most of the top 10 oils and how they can be of support for your health and wellness. And I hope that as we have conversations, you're thinking about your own body and your own health, because we're going to get to a moment where we shift to really help this be about you and your needs. So here we go. Bobby always talks about lemon, so go for it, Bob.
I have to unmute myself because I just took a big old swig of my water and it's got Slim and Sassy in it, and I got way too much in there. So lemon is perfect in your water. And Toby did ask me today, well, how many drops can I use? Dr. Hill says 3 to 5 drops in every big mug of water, maxing out at 25 drops a day. Great to clean your mirrors, your windows, your toilets, your counters, and everything. Just know you can clean your whole house with lemon and On Guard and Melaleuca.
I do want you to know, when you read your bottle, any of the oils that you can take internally will have a supplemental label on them, but there's also labeling that will usually say 1 drop per 4 ounces of water. Sometimes we don't read our labels to realize the answers to our questions are right there. So frankincense, I always have Vicki talk about frankincense because she's just got a phenomenal story with it.
And then you were just going to rush right on past. Frankincense. You know, imagine this. You're a middle-aged school teacher, and your father, whom you love dearly for several years, has been battling cancer, and your son, who you just love dearly, is battling cirrhosis. He's been sick for about a year and is on a transplant list. And then you also kind of had a drinking problem, so you quit drinking at the same time your kid quit drinking. And even though you don't really miss it so much anymore, you just don't, you know, I don't know, sadness. I was in a sad place, but I didn't think I was in a sad place when I got my first bottle of frankincense. And I started applying it just like Dr. Hill said. Julie mentioned him. And after several weeks at work, I had a student or two comment about, you know, gee, we really like it when you're all happy, Mrs. Wood, you know. Or then I had a colleague one day, it's my next door neighbor, Lisa, my next door teacher. And she's like, man, it's so nice to see you smiling so much these days. And I'm like, really? Because I didn't know I hadn't been smiling much. So I do frankincense every morning and night. Yes, for cellular support, but I do it to support my brain because Frank helped lift me out of sadness. So not only does it promote calming feelings, it's great for aging skin. It's good for scar reduction, helps your cells perform in their tip-top way they're supposed to. It's brain protective. I love frankincense. And I'm not sure if I flap my jaw here about the cost and stuff. Do I usually flap my jaw here?
We usually do it right here.
All right. Well, okay. So, you know, we've talked about the expense. I think Bobby mentioned what lavender's under $10 a drop. Well, Frank comes out to about 26 cents a drop, 27 cents a drop. And that's cheap. That I'm worth it. If I have 4 drops of frankincense a day, that's just over $1. I used to spend way more than that on alcohol and soda pop, and way more than that on cigarettes. I quit cigarettes a few years ago, finally. Only took till I was like 61, but whatever. Frank, and oils helped me do that, by the way, too. But Frankie, he's just wonderful. There you go. I'm done.
You'll notice the ATI, so aromatic, topical, and internal. You can use it all 3 ways.
May I suggest you diffuse it? Just like in my song.
So digestin, this is the digestive blend. So think of the name and what that suggests. Anything from the mouth to the other end is how I explain it. You can get this one in ya, on ya, and around ya. That's what that ATI means. And digestin comes, it has fennel and ginger, peppermint, all of those oils that are really good for supporting tummy troubles, intestinal issues. But if you don't care for that flavor, you can also get it in a soft gel, and you can actually get it in a tablet that's similar to a Tums. I'm actually drinking 2 drops of it in my hot water with some almond milk. So digestin is also, here's a pro tip. If you deal with sinus stuffiness, if you put it over the bridge of your nose or your cheekbones, remember again, avoiding your eyes. That is a great way to help open those cavities up so that it feels better. All right, Deep Blue. I don't know who to call on. Is it okay if I just talk about Deep Blue? Deep Blue, this is the soothing blend. So what do you think of when you think of soothing? You think of calming down aches and pains. I'm making an assumption for you, but so shoulders, joints, ligaments, tendons, twisted ankles. Deep Blue is your go-to. I want you to notice there's no I on this one. So this is one that you would use aromatically and topically. And what's really cool to me about Deep Blue is if you use it before you work out, use it before you go out to garden, use it before you go for your walk, use it before you get down on the ground to play with your grandchildren. use it before you go out to play tennis. That prepares your muscles. And then after the fact, you use it and that helps support the recovery of your muscles. And just a quick story about Deep Blue. I had a friend call me. He had some major dental work that needed to happen on a Monday. He was in extensive pain and he did not want to use the pharmaceuticals that had been prescribed. And they called and said, what can we use? And I suggested Deep Blue. So they put Deep Blue on his jaw. I assume that they used it every probably 30 minutes to an hour, but that helped him survive the weekend until he got to have his dental work done. So having your oils, getting them in you, on you, and around you. And a beautiful thing with your oils, you know, when you're taking an over-the-counter medication, I'm not even going to talk about prescription medications, but when you're taking an over-the-counter, oftentimes it says wait 4 hours or 6 hours before taking it again. With our oils, like Lindsay had mentioned, using them for her head tension, if by pressing that to that drop of oil on her thumb to the roof of her mouth, if in 15 minutes she hadn't found any kind of support or relief, we can say, do it again. It's okay. These are natural from the earth and our bodies know what to do with nature. So breathe, respiratory. And so just like it says, everything for your lungs, anytime you have a hard time breathing, this is your go-to. And again, there is no I, so you would not take this one internally. A pro tip for this one, a drop on the bottom of your big toe, over the bridge of your nose, if you're somebody that sounds like a freight train as you're sleeping. And then wild orange, this one's happiness in a bottle. Citrus oils, I love every citrus oil, but this one, open it up, breathe it in. I had a gal come to class one time. She wasn't a friend of mine. The friend that had invited her hadn't shown up, so she's sitting in a room full of strangers. And this woman dealt with high anxiety. She was very anxious and she sat in a corner. And I always start my class by passing around the wild orange. After class, she came up to me and she said within 5 minutes, she could feel her body releasing those distressful feelings that she was experiencing. And she asked, can I buy that bottle right now? So wild orange, again, is another one to support our emotional health. And then adaptive. Vicki or Bobby, which one of you can speak to this one better than me?
Adaptive. Well, I listened to Amy Baumitz today do a 30-minute class on adaptive, which was very informative, and I can share that link. But it's
I can give a testimonial about adaptive.
Oh yeah, Bobby,
from
let
two
me share her
different
story.
Oh yeah,
people.
Vicky's got that. Mhm.
And I have a new one as well. So my old testimonial is, this happened within months after adaptive came out, 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, whatever it was. And this gal that I knew had been using a particular product for quite some time that she had tried to get off of, that with her doctor's help, and just every time she tried to stop using it, she just would feel like she was crawling out of her skin and feel like she was going crazy. So she tried adaptive. She studied up on adaptive, did some research and listened to a couple of people talk about their experiences, and with her doctor's permission started to wean herself off using adaptive, and it was successful. And then just lately I had another customer who really likes oils, another team member, I guess. And I don't know her well. I actually know her through her kid, but I don't know her and I hadn't really kept in touch with her. But when I ran into her the other day, she was like, that adaptive just saves my sanity. I love that stuff. So those are 2 testimonials. Great. Easing nervous feelings, I think, is a great descriptor.
And emotional havoc is on the rise. And so this is a powerhouse to have, a powerful tool to have in your tool belt when helping to support your emotions. So
I forgot to mention the first gal, not so much the second gal, but the first gal, it was the gel caps, the adaptive in the gel caps. Like this one, you notice you can't take it it's not suggested that you use it internally, but a variation of the adaptive blend with all internal usage oils is in a gel cap along with some GABA, whatever that is. I'm not a scientist. And that was what my first customer raves about.
And I was going to say, you guys, there's several truck drivers that won't get on the road without that in the roller ball in their pocket.
Yeah, it's a super oil. And it does, like Bobby mentioned, it does come in a roller bottle. Vicky mentioned it does come in a soft gel. You can get the whole set together. They really were designed to work synergistically as that trio to help support your emotional health. And then Copaiba. Vicky, you want to talk about Copaiba? You did a fantastic video a while back on this one.
Copaiba. You've heard of CBD oil, I'm sure, because it's been all the rage for years now. Copaiba works similarly to CBD oil. Our Copaiba essential oil actually has a direct impact on CB2 receptors. So in our, I can't remember how I described it, Julie, and then I do it different every time. But anyway, so our body, our bodies are like systems of things. And part of our body systems is something called the endocannabinoid system. I'm not going to be able to do it. You got CB1 receptors, and they're in your brain, and that's like the THC of cannabis goes to those and makes you feel euphoric. CBD oil might have a tiny bit of THC in it, but not enough to make any difference. Its main component is, help me out, Julie.
Beta-caryophyllene. Is that it?
Yeah.
Is that what you're going for? Beta-caryophyllene?
Beta-caryophyllene, that's it. BCP in Copaiba. CBD is the main ingredient in CBD oil that comes from the cannabis plant. So Copaiba has absolutely no THC in it. And it also works directly. CBD works indirectly through another channel on your CB2 receptors. The BCP in Copaiba goes directly to whatever those receptors are and helps with whatever it is. If you're using CBD oil for your ache and back, Copaiba works on your ache and back.
Yeah.
And it's cheaper. It's less expensive because after all, our oils are safe, effective, and affordable. And it's consistent. I keep thinking of additional things. And it's part of, because like Julie was saying, we have such pure quality controlled oils. Any bottle of Copaiba that you get, did you guys talk about Source to You?
We have
If you
not.
look on the bottom of a bottle of any of doTERRA's single oils, you'll see a batch number. And if you go to source2you.com, and you put that batch number in, you're going to get the chemistry that's in this bottle. It'll show you the makeup of the essential oil that's in this bottle, and it'll be almost identical to every previous oil, a bottle of a Copaiba that you got, and almost identical to any oil you'll get in the future, because they've got standards and they want every single bottle to have the same standard. CBD, I don't know of any CBD oil company that gives you that kind of a guarantee. So,
Or any essential oil company other than doTERRA.
well, I was talking specifically about CBD.
Yeah.
So
okay.
that's why I said that.
Something I want to bring to attention when you're talking about those receptors, what were they? The number 2 receptors.
CB2, they're all over your body, all over
And
your
they
body.
deal with your nervous system. So Copaiba is really a powerful oil to utilize when you're dealing with addressing that body system, that part of your body, the nervous system, and dealing with pain firing in your body. So it's a fantastic one. And again, 2 drops under my tongue every morning and every night. So here is where we transition this class to you. Our goal and our intention is never for somebody to get some oils and then leave them on their shelf because they don't know how to use them and they don't know which concerns they want to deal with. So I would love for you to take just a few minutes, if you have a pen and paper, if you just want to think about it in your head, but what are your top 3 health concerns that you're looking for a solution for? We've talked about a lot of essential oils. We've shared some stories and some testimonies, and maybe some of those have hit on areas that you would really like help and support with. But maybe we didn't cover the thing that you want to work on. So we're going to be quiet for about 30 seconds so that you can kind of concentrate on yourself. What would you like less of? What would you like more of? Perhaps you want more sleep. Perhaps you want less pain. It's different for each one of us. So we're going to be quiet so that you can think about that for just a moment. So hopefully you had the opportunity to jot down a few things that you're hoping to find a solution for. And we would love it if you would be willing to share one or two things that you might want to tackle in your own home. So go ahead, Rita.
Okay, well, sorry for my voice. It's kind of been going today. I deal with chronic migraines. I have literally had a migraine headache 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year for 11 and a half years. I've had 2 spinal taps, 2 MRIs, 2 CAT scans. They have no idea why. My husband was just recently diagnosed with advanced COPD. And we both have sinus issues and like a lot of drainage. So those were really the top 3 reasons that I went to a meeting with my friend Stacy, and I actually bought a kit that night. So I'm looking forward to learning how to use all of them.
That's wonderful. I'm sorry to hear. I cannot, like, I don't deal with headaches very often. I can't imagine having a headache once a week, let alone 24/7, 365 days a year.
They say that I am atypical because I can still function. I don't have to have the dark room. I don't, I get some severe ones occasionally during the day, but my really bad ones are about 6 to 8 a month, and they strike at night after I've laid down. And I literally feel like somebody's splitting my skull open and pouring lava into it. And I've lost vision, and a handful of times I've even lost my hearing until I can get the medication that I take currently into my system and I can get to sleep, and then it'll go away. But it really freaks my husband out.
Julie, can you stop sharing the screen just for a sec?
Yeah, I should have done that.
That's okay. That's okay. And Rita went home with the Home Essential Kit, so she does not have frankincense. But that's something, Rita, when we get together next week, we might make you a sample of frankincense so that you have that. But I would encourage.
You had me try it, and it seemed like it helped a little bit, but it didn't make it go completely away.
But I think if you were to diffuse while you're sleeping, a combo of some things would help. Not knowing what's causing those. Vicky unmuted herself.
Well, I just wanted to recommend you get yourself a bottle of frankincense and do a drop under your tongue morning, noon, and night for like 21 days in a row. And then, like Bobby said, diffuse. And I would frequently add frankincense. Frankincense is very brain protective, so that's why I'm leaning towards that. But honey, I'm thinking of you.
Well,
That's a lot of stuff.
I've got too much to live for to let it get me too far down. We have 26 grandchildren and 7 children.
Oh
So,
my gosh. You do my goal. I'm on 16 and I think I'm gonna tap out on 4 or 5.
and 2
Ah,
more on the way.
2 more on the way. Oh my, yeah, cool. Yeah, so let's get you frankincense using. Yeah, for sure. And Lindsay, is it simply frankincense that is assisting her with her migraines?
Peppermint.
Peppermint.
She was using peppermint. So, so I can't remember which kit. Rita, do you have peppermint?
Yes.
You know, one person's happiness is not necessarily another's, but generally speaking, that's also a very good oil for migraine. Are you recording that? Are you going to put this somewhere? Okay.
No, not without anybody's permission.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, good. So I think we can just speak.
You're fine.
frankly.
If this will help somebody else, I don't have a problem with that.
Right.
Well, the other thing is lavender. Since lavender is so good for pain and relaxing, lavender or adaptive in the diffuser or on your body.
I actually plugged my diffuser in that night. We put lavender, I believe peppermint and lemon, I believe in it.
And keep in mind, Vicki and Julie.
That's good for sinuses, Rita. Lemon, lavender, and peppermint, wonderful for sinuses. Anytime I feel any kind of head congestion, I get myself a drop, or any like allergic-ish reaction. I don't know what happened to me the other day, but my fingers started hiving up. One finger. And it got all itchy, and I thought, what is wrong with me? Well, itchy. Anytime I'm itchy, lemon, lavender, and peppermint, shot glass. Handy.
Yeah.
Shot glass, drop of each, and I just. 5 minutes later, the hiviness went away, the itch was gone. It's great.
My husband Randy is listening in also.
Good.
Did you notice any difference today with your breathing with us running that?
Oh, yeah.
Did it seem easier?
Yeah.
Well,
So see
and with that, massage peppermint and coconut oil on the chest and on the bottom of the feet before climbing in bed or when you get up in the morning, or both.
Just don't rub your eyes
Mhm.
with peppermint on your hands.
Okay, well then I can't put it on my pillow then.
Not
Oh,
peppermint.
sure.
You
Well,
Because peppermint is energizing too. So do lavender on your pillow, but I wouldn't put peppermint on my pillow, but because it's just energizing.
My pillow's a little different.
and tell your husband to just keep that with that COPD, man, with that breathing stuff, keep that peppermint handy. And here's a great way to do peppermint. Just get a drop on your tongue and then, and you'll go like, whoa, I can breathe for 5 minutes. Yeah, I'm telling you.
You definitely can do that. Oh yeah. But I'm definitely looking forward to looking into this more and seeing what we can do. At one point in my life, I was taking 37 different medications a day.
Heavens.
And about 10 years ago, I got tired of taking them and I threw them all away. I dropped 100 pounds and a lot of them, the issues went away. And then I just learned to eat a little bit healthier and exercise a little bit more.
That's great.
Which I need to get back on that. But I would rather do the all natural stuff where, like you guys are saying, we know where it comes from. We know, and the testing that you guys have talked about and everything, where the pharmaceuticals, we don't know necessarily everything that they put into those.
I'll speak for myself, Rita. I'm not like anti-pharmaceutical or anti-doctor or anything. If I have a concern that's serious enough that an oil doesn't resolve, I'll go to a doctor. But the pharmaceutical stuff, all the side effects. And the worst thing that could happen to you with oils is like I put some Melissa on the back of Julie's ear once, and we didn't know she was sensitive, and it like made burn marks. It can be uncomfortable. Or you might put a drop of, something like, oh, I think I'll try. Oh, lately I've been like into celery seed. Okay, I got to do celery seed because I read it's good for circulatory stuff, right? So I put a drop on my tongue and I go, oh my heavenly stars. It was awful. I will never do that again. So that was a bad side effect, but it didn't threaten my life or make me suicidal. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing I love about
I
going to
think 4
natural.
of the medications I was taking, I took this medication for this problem. Well, then I took this to counteract a side effect of that medication. And then I took another one to counteract a side effect of that medication.
Mhm.
And it was just like a vicious cycle.
Yeah,
And, and if it's serious enough, yes, consult a physician.
right.
Um,
Right. Like if I had diabetes and I had to take insulin, I wouldn't quit taking my insulin.
Right.
So yeah.
But I'm very appreciative to Bobby for having the class and to Stacy for inviting me to go, because I'm really hoping that this can keep both of us around for a little while longer.
Yeah, we'll get some
Too.
get
Yeah.
some answers.
We totally believe that this is foundational for our longevity and our lifestyle. Okay, I'm going to go back to sharing my screen. And Laura, do you want to share anything? You are not obligated to, but if you do, we want you to know that you have that opportunity.
Certainly. Are you there?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I'm concerned with everyone's side effects of the COVID, being short of breath, having a hard time regaining strength, that my husband is having trouble with. And he still has coughing fits, even though there's nothing in his lungs and he doesn't have anything where they think he's got pneumonia or anything, but they said he's a long hauler and he is just, really tired all the time and has no spunk, no zip, no get up and go, which is just frustrating for him as well as myself, because I keep thinking of all the things I need for him to go do for me and he can't. So I have to think of other ways that I can find somebody to go out and climb up a ladder to my roof and replace that floodlight, things like that. But I've got to get him healthy enough to do those things again and to participate in life. And I know there's got to be other people out there having the same problems.
Laura, I don't know if I have shared with you, but I've got a PowerPoint from Dr. Wong and Dr. Ma. And one of the screens is on long haul COVID. And so remind me to share that with you.
Okay. Sounds good.
And that will give you some suggested protocols that might give him some relief, both of you some relief. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
And there are a lot of essential oils that can help and support you in your season of recovery. And again, they do this without side effect, which is fantastic, right? So,
right.
And as we continue, you might hear some things that you think you might want to pull into your regimen, and this might be one of those things. So doTERRA, we are an essential oil company, but our number one seller are our supplements. And these were created because of the nutritional deficit in a lot of ways that we deal with in this country. We have our multivitamin, that's the VMZ, and that's got vitamins and minerals in it. The XE Omega are our 3, 6, and 9 fatty acids, plus 9 essential oils. And so those are great for cardiovascular health and brain health. And then our Alpha CRS, this is really about energy. It works with the mitochondria in the cell. But these 3 together, a normal dose is 4 of each every day, these 3 together. And you can read on the screen some of the additional things that it does. But doTERRA believes so strongly about this being the foundation of our health and wellness that it has a money back guarantee. So if at the end of 30 days, you don't have more energy, less pain, and better mood, you can call doTERRA and they will give you your money back. These run about, I think it's $79.50 for the package of these, but these are really helpful in our overall health and wellness. And that's why we like to say, want to feel awesome. So we've covered the 3 cool things about oils. We've covered the 3 ways to use your oils. And so now we want to talk about the 3 ways that you can get these beautiful oils in your home. And the very first is retail. And this is the most expensive. We really don't encourage anybody to get started with retail, because why do you want to pay full price when you can pay wholesale? A wholesale membership is $35 for an entire year. You have an online portal, so you don't have to call the person that invited you. You get on your own little account. You place your order just like if you were to go to Amazon and place an order. But the wholesale price is 25% below retail. So kind of like a Costco, you pay that annual membership so you can go through the doors to order or to purchase products less expensive. And then the third way, and it's the way that I get my oils and my products, doTERRA has more than just oils and more than just supplements. I do want people to note that, because sometimes people don't realize, they just think it's about oils. We have skincare, we have laundry detergent, we have dishwasher pods. We have all sorts of things that you can use to reduce the toxic load. You hear a lot about that these days. So anyway, this below wholesale is a year-long membership as well. You save 25%, but you can earn free product points through the loyalty rewards program. We're not going to talk about that a whole lot. Vicki usually talks about that with her frankincense explanation, but doTERRA has created some kits, and these kits are where it's below wholesale. So if you ordered everything that's on your screen a la carte, it would be more than that $160. But because doTERRA puts it into a kit, it's below that. It's below that wholesale, and it waives that $35. So this is really the best way to get the most from your dollar. So
Billy,
some of the kits.
I just want to say one thing, just so you know, because you said you don't know everybody on the screen. Just so you know, everybody attending has a membership. Okay.
Oh, okay. So can we skip all this?
Well, possibly. Yeah. Rita, Stacy
Yes.
has already shared and
Yes,
Rita's already
please.
shared. Yeah. So I think we could go to Joy of Sharing Oils unless somebody has any questions. Book
Did I
a
know about
class
that?
and get one of these free by booking a class. Is everybody okay with that? You don't need to go through the kits because we've already got a kit. Thumbs up.
I'm fine with that.
Let me just wrap things up, Vic and Robbie. So
Do what?
there are 3 types of people that generally come to a class like this. There's people that are looking for solutions, and they just want to live a wellness lifestyle. They want to bring oils into their home to help themselves, their husbands or wives, their children, their grandchildren, their families. And these are doTERRA customers, and we love doTERRA customers. The great thing about it is we get to support you with free continuing education. So you guys are on the class today and you're learning. This is really our basic 101 class for introducing people to oils. But what's really cool is we have continuing education. We have something that's called Oil Camp. That's super fun. It covers the top 10 oils. Then there's one that's on living a wellness lifestyle. There's one that's on oils for emotion. So that's the first kind of person that comes to doTERRA. The second type of person just naturally loves to share. Rita, I think you mentioned Stacy invited you. She must be somebody who loves to share what's happening in her own life. And we love people who love to share, and doTERRA rewards those kinds of people by helping you to get your products paid for. So as you're living your wellness lifestyle, you can earn a little bit of an income to pay for your products. Plus, when you're ordering on that loyalty rewards program, you're earning points to pay for your products as well. And then the third type of person that comes to a class like this, you're looking to make some extra income. You want to partner with this mission of doTERRA, which is really to empower people with solutions in their home. We like to say with a book in a box, you can address 80% of what goes on in your family's life. And if that's you, if you're looking for supplemental or replacement income, doTERRA has an incredible compensation plan. And so wherever you are, whether you want to live doTERRA, share doTERRA, or build doTERRA, we really want to encourage you to reach out to the person that invited you to doTERRA and let them know where you see yourself in this story, because then that helps them to know how best to support you and your needs so that you can reach the goals that you've got in your mind.
Okay, Laura, what's your question?
Oh, no, you answered all my questions before.
Oh, okay, your hand's up. So I just thought I'd better check.
Oh, sorry. That was a while
Okay.
ago.
That's okay.
Sorry.
So really, this was our basic class, and this is kind of where we take a break to answer questions anybody has. And then if you would like to, we love to wrap up with what we call the joy of sharing oils, and it takes us about 10 minutes. So if you want to hang out and walk with us through this joy of sharing oils, fantastic. But if you need to go do something, put kids to bed or whatever, just know that you don't hurt our feelings. You're totally free to go and do that. So I'm going to share my screen again. And the joy of sharing oils. All right. So why doTERRA? Why now? You can read the screen and see what it says here. For me, the why of sharing doTERRA is a couple different things that are really key to me. First of all, the ethics of this company and the owners. I've been to convention over and over and over. I've listened to these leaders talk about what has compelled them to do this. And doTERRA is really in uncharted territory. doTERRA's heart is empowering people with safe, effective, affordable solutions. And they're delivering on that promise. And I'm going to try not to get emotional. We can trust these oils, and we know that if we get them in us, on us, and around us, that they will bring results. And so for me, that's one of the biggest reasons of the why doTERRA and why now. The second is, for me, is the heart that they have to do the most good for the most people. They could be buying land and farming themselves and growing pure plants to get these beautiful oils. But instead, they go around the globe, oftentimes to third world countries, to partner with farmers who often only own 5 acres of land. And oftentimes these farmers are generational farmers. But first of all, the demand has not been there. So even though they're creating and growing these beautiful plants, the demand wasn't there for them. So that impedes their income. But secondly, brokers were coming in, maybe for the perfume industry or for big box stores that provide essential oils. And they're coming in and they are not paying them fair wages. We've heard stories of farmers that for 3 years, they didn't get paid. And doTERRA is committed to being fair. They oftentimes bring in education. They've come in in Somaliland, where we get some of our frankincense. They've come in and they've taught these farmers how to treat their plants so that their harvest can be more plentiful and that it can go the long term. So those are the big reasons for me. But for anybody that might be wanting to build a doTERRA business, I want you to think about their compensation plan is amazing and the retention rate is incredible, 65%. That means most of the people in doTERRA are customers. And when you have a great customer base, then you're not having to sell as often as frequently. So it's a beautiful, beautiful company with beautiful oils and products. And then the other big factor is that we are a community. It's hard to find people that use oils that are crabby and cranky. It's just joyful. We love being around each other. We love learning from each other. We love learning how to use our gifts and our strengths in ways that really grow us personally as well. So questions that you might have about sharing oils: how can I make money? How much time is involved? Can this work for me? And what is the next step? And so here's how it is to make money. When you hear of somebody who has a challenge, you ask if they're open to an essential oil. Some might go, what is an essential oil? Some might go, yes, absolutely. You get them that sample, you invite them to a class to teach them, you help them bring these gifts of the earth into their home. And then this is my favorite part, is continuing to support them, helping them to grow and understand how to really effectively use their essential oils to come up with the solutions that they're looking for. So the doTERRA income potential, I am not going to take a deep dive into this. We just want you to know that with your $35 membership, and by ordering 100 PV of oils every single month for yourself, which is really easy to do, when you're ordering your toothpaste, laundry detergent, skincare, your bottle of frankincense. It's really easy to do. And then you're sharing and helping people get started. Your income potential really is limitless. How much time is involved depends on what you want to create. If you want to get your oils paid for, you can do that working 3 to 5 hours a week. If you want to supplement your income, the recommended is 5 to 15 hours a week. And if you want to replace your income, well, this is really can be your job. And, you know, most of us can't make an income working 6 hours a week, right? That's going to pay all of our bills. So it really is dependent on what you want to create for that. So can this work for you? Our very first question is, are you passionate about oils? Have you had success stories? Have they impacted your life? Then absolutely. And then do you love people? You know, we hear so many stories of people who are struggling and they're frustrated. Even the gals that were on the call today shared some of their challenges that they have faced. And we want to help people. And then can you follow a system and get things done? One of the beautiful things with this company is all of the, not only the continuing education with our essential oils, but the empowerment in trainings that they provide for free. So what's the next step for sharing oils? Well, the first thing is, do you have a wholesale account? And everybody on the call today we know does, which is fantastic. If you have a wholesale account, you'll want to be what's called a wellness advocate. And so if you didn't start as a wellness advocate, you just log in and click your profile up at the top and you're looking for upgrade. And all you do is plug in your social security number, set up your LRP with 100 PV in it, and you're good to go to start sharing. When you upgrade, doTERRA gives you a website. And so it's a fantastic way to share with your friends and family, people that are in your circle of influence. And then let the person that enrolled you know that this is something that you want to do. And if they're not building the business, they'll get you in touch with someone from their upline. And we are here to support you and help you along the way. And then make a list of the people that you want to bless. I call it my blessings list. Some people call it a names list. And then call those people and invite them to experience what you've experienced with doTERRA. So that is the joy of sharing oils.
Thank you, Sister Julie. Well,
Great.
yes, we lost Rita and
Great.
Stacy. Rita has terrible reception and she kept trying to hop on and up on. So I am going to stop the recording and then anybody can ask questions.